Gods keep you.
Well met, friend.
Welcome. Oh, other than the war, I never strayed too far from where you found me. Farming, mostly. I was never much for cities. Never learned a trade. In my younger days, I thought I was gonna go preach the word of Aethys. Just in our temple there. My parents encouraged it. I made so much trouble for them growing up. They used to say it'd be best if I got in good with the God of Redemption. Of course, us blowing him up probably didn't help my chances there. But if anybody'd forgive you for blowing him up, it'd be Aethys. They, they did. It was strange timing, because we just won the war. They celebrated when I came home. There was music and dancing. Trumbull used half his grain making this big honey cake. I still dream about that cake. Like having the best lover of your life, but only for one night. And they were all sorry to hear about my brother. Took a while for word of the purges to reach us. Aethasians being murdered in the streets. Cold Morn and the like. No way would they let something like that happen in Gilded Vale. That's what they all said. But the weeks went by and the purges spread. Pretty soon they weren't so sure my brother fought for Deerwood. And they weren't so sure I did. Caught me by surprise after all the celebrating. Should have seen it coming after the tailor said he was gonna fit me for some new clothes, but then all he wanted was my neck measurement. Nah, not that last part. But you had to think about it. Says a lot about the place I've been calling home all these years. Well, I'm sure my parents are still wondering the same thing. The Aethasian purges were like this madness had come over the town, like a disease. Seems like when you see something like that, your instinct is to wait for it to pass, even when you know it probably won't. The family whose farm I worked on, they had a little Hollowborn girl. And they heard the Animancers had this cure, the Salvation it was called. They went running. This Salvation, they were putting animal souls in children. You might have heard about it, giving them enough personality to care for themselves. Well, you can guess how that turned out. Matter of time, the children broke down, became wild things, monsters. Anyway, these farmers put the family dog's soul in their little girl. For a while, the girl, she's making eye contact, she's feeding herself, albeit in a kind of messy way. And one day she snaps. They found her gnawing on her brother's bones. Had to chain her up, put her in a cow pen. Well, the mother, she wouldn't have anything to do with the girl after that. But the father, he'd visit every day. Feed her chickens, toss water on her once in a while to get the dirt off. Most of the village, they'd whisper about him. Poor man, they'd say, sick with grief. He was just waiting for his daughter to look up one day and recognize her papa. He was waiting for her to get better. Didn't understand that at the time, of course, but these days I think about him a lot. What's on your mind? It makes two of us. If you're looking to find religion, maybe you want to start with a god that hasn't been burned to dust, but I won't stop you. Aethys, he was a young man with a silver crown. Carried a candle around with him. Sounds like I'm giving a bad eulogy here. In my way. I don't suppose he expects me to show up at his temple these days. Not much left to do for him other than keep his memory alive and keep hoping that he's just been playing a joke on all of us these past 15 years. Raised that way. My family's been Aothasian going way back. Suppose it wasn't much of a choice at first. Don't know for sure why my family started worshipping him. Probably because of Gon looking after folks like us. Mm-mm. There was something I genuinely liked about Aethys. Always. Like he understood people better than the other gods. Knew all our flaws and weaknesses and accepted us for that. Folks are at their worst when they're afraid. A god like Aethys, he made you realize there was nothing to fear. Made you a better person. Of course, he goes away for a few years, and look what happens. Was his actions. I mean, not when he started his rebellion, and not even when he took over Rhaed Saris. It was when he sent his armies into Dyrwood. You sure you don't want to talk about something more pleasant? Like the War of Black Trees or the Legacy or something? What's on your mind?
Welcome. Good day, stranger. Gods keep you. Oh.
Well met, friend.
Hello.
This is the home of the man responsible for those hanging corpses. You don't plan on knocking, do you?
It is unlike Kolsch to hire mercenaries, or foreigners for that matter. And you are not one of mine, so I cannot accuse you of treason. What has my cousin promised you? Some grand reward? If he had any resources to his name, he would not covet mine. And if he had any honor in him, he would not have tried this here, now, when I have lost so much. Oh yes, we are kin, he and I. He was raised within these walls, in fact, privy to all the privileges our family had to offer. But a greedy man always hungers after more than he receives, however bountiful. I was eldest, heir to the stewardship of our lands, and he was not. much. There is a plague among us here in Gilded Vale. The legacy is but part of it. The rest is fear, heresy, perversion. Each incident alone is but the flicker of a candle, but together, a blaze that will destroy us. The flame consumed her, my Ygritte, and our child with it. A just sentence. You are a pawn in Kolsh's designs, and he has kept his motivations from you for a reason. I wonder if you understand what it is you do, or what you might accomplish if you were better informed. You have proven your competence in your way, and had I such an ally, we might together put an end to Gilded Vale's woes, lift the curse once and for all, and in doing so, return us to a life where such strict measures are not necessary. So be it. May the twinned god take pity upon your splintered soul, and scatter it to the winds.
It is. Well, not the wall itself, perhaps. The construction is very traditional. There are names scratched upon some of the bricks. Just there. Workers and masons, I expect. Carving a little immortality for themselves. It's a fine keep, Cad Noir. 2 centuries to its name, and abandoned for nearly as long. But the truly interesting part is in there, and I haven't had much luck in reaching the keep itself. I hoped to find the master of this place, a man by the name of Maerwald, but it seems that he either holds his privacy most dear, or else has been devoured by his house guests. Oh, truly? Then perhaps we can help one another. The grounds are infested with all manner of beasts. I've never seen the like. I didn't want to risk it alone. but you seem capable. Together, I'm sure we could manage it. And then we can both ask our questions of Merwald. I seek a great treasure, you see. Not gold or silver, but the Tanvi Oratoa. You might call it the Book of Virtues. It's a sacred text of the Rauatai, but we possess only a fragment of it. A year I've journeyed in search of the rest, and I uncovered evidence that leads me to believe the original lies just there, beneath the keep. Excellent. Lead on, my friend, and I will be at your heels. Ah, wait. Speaking of that, I ought to warn you first. Wondrous teeth, I nearly forgot. I have, at times, been followed. It began in Adir, and in Exomitl they attacked outright. I believe they do not wish for me to find what I am looking for. I say believe, but I have been told as much by one of my would-be assassins. I pay them little mind. Humorless sorts in long robes. But it's why I bought the sword, you see. And it's only fair that you should know. I'm glad you're not discouraged. Come then. Who knows what we will find inside?
You can't do this! This is our village, our home! The Nine Claws have lived here almost 50 generations. We were here long before your kind brought war to our lands. You can't just burn it all! Have mercy, soldier! Our warriors have all gone! You can't burn us all because of them! Ah.
Another watcher in Cadnua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance. I'm sorry if I startled you. I'm afraid my manners have been slipping. I haven't had much opportunity for introductions lately. In any case, I assume you're here looking for Merwald. Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins, one of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul. Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place. He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been, so he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it. But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we'd made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me. I can feel his presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind. Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
Been out playing soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas. Soldiers are important people. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. People like the man who murdered your father. Before you were born, the Glanfathans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Adra rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our villages and killed many people. Your father was one of them. That's why you'll be a soldier one day. To protect and to avenge. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here.
There's been a change of plans. Take your squad and march south all the way to the bow in the river. Bring a wagon team and a dozen barrels of pitch. The instructions come from Admeth Hadred himself, which means they might as well have come from the Duke. We're to burn those hut dwellers out. Set fire to the Deerwood so they've nowhere to retreat. Cut them down when they come out. Or let them blaze if they won't. It'll make this even shorter than the Broken Stone War, all right. And we can only hope it'll discourage future conflicts. I know this is personal for you. It is for many of us. But understand, we're doing this to end this war, not to continue the last one. Remember that we're flushing out the enemy, not burning villages for sport. Bareth will have his work cut out for him tonight.
Almost time. Dai and Hether scouted the village last night. They're rounding up the rest of the party now. Don't worry, everyone remembers the raid was your idea. The Rio had to go along with it after you'd gotten the rest of the clan riled up. No one once had said that the Nine Claws were too cowardly to stand with the rest of the tribe when the foreigners desecrated our ruins. The tribes need more leaders like you. Women who value deeds over words. You were right. We were too soft when the foreigners first came, and now they humiliate us. We'll be soft no more, and the invaders will learn to leave us alone once and for all.
No. Keep away from us. Leave us!
Maybe we should come back later?
Meowald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He has sent for no callers. Be gone, deceiving spirit! Meowald will speak with you, but you will maintain your distance, or you'll have me to answer to.
Come to speak to Meowald? Meowald whose touch is poison? Meowald who knows not his effect? A window to the ether, where spirits dwell. Peer and reach into it, speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, reads them, knows their pasts, souls of the living, souls of the dead, an empath, and the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I? What the gods wanted of me, thought I.
The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged. It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners.
Little I knew. No! No! Forgive me! Forgive me! Lost? No. Found more of it. Too much. Too much to bear. An awakening. Many lifetimes we have. Souls enter womb and exit corpse. Carry with them all experiences, all knowledge, all identities. Yet we do not remember. Hidden from us. What end? What end? Only the gods know. Certain things can stir memories from lives long buried. Awaken the old memories, the old personalities. Memory, personality, identity, any might resurface. Or all. Ghosts of the mind. Meowald has lost control. Meowald's body no more. Spirits and not spirits. Always whispering to Meowald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own souls. Once Meowald awakened, he could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less. Troubled memories, angry memories, pulling Meowald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier, soldier and marauder, how could they know? My fault. All my fault. Soldier and marauder, soldier and marauder and Meowald. No forgiveness for what's past. No undoing what's done. No sleep. No sleep for the Watcher. War there was all around. War of stone, war of tree. Death we brought to the settler men. We, the 9 claws. Claws of 9. Worse what we did to the women. For love of the gods. The gods' love. For their love.
Hold her down. Head her. Give this Addy a bitch an heir that belongs in Air Glodfath.
The boy. The boy. The baby boy. The boy. Conceived in the raid. Conceived by force. Vessel for marauder. Slain in the raid. Marauder and the boy. Marauder and soldier. For the soul. Marauder's soul. Same soul. One soul. Boy's soul. Marauder's soul. Raised in lies and vengeance. Raised to soldier. Raised for the fire. Born for the fire.
You'll get no pity from me. The crimes of the 9 Claws clan in the last war are still unavenged. But the gods are just. They have led me here. In my father's name, every one of you will burn. Light it.
Soldier and marauder, lies and vengeance, and dead villages. All dead. All dead. What for? What for? How little we know. Fragmented our memories. Stuck in time. Mindless, cruel, never far. Oh, no, 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 no. You too. You too. They will take you too. So fragile the Watcher's mind. So real his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep? You were reminded of it. Strong memories, lingering lives, they dwell near the surface, waiting to be remembered, waiting to take your mind for their own. Meyerwald sat at his hearth and watched his fire, watched the wood burn. Then came the memory of another fire and burning wood and screams. No, always there, always remembered. Can't forget, can't unsee. Keys of lead, books of burden, queens that were. Known to me are they, the leaden key. Secrets, secrets, and deceptions, and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of Watchers, hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets. Woodica, goddess, crown shattered and body burned. Binder of oaths and grudge holder. Bearer of justice, but whose? Many secrets do they keep. Unawakened? Mayhap. Who else if not they? City of Defiance, never far from the Queen. Sleep well. Sleep well.
Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Adir land thieves than take orders from me. Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowayne's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
Poor Meyerwald. He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
I felt Meerwald's passing. You slew him. It saddens me to hear it, but part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in darkness. This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will all its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Meerwald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands, it could be so much more. If you had only seen it in its day, will you stay?